to allow the election to be more hyper-local. Is still the party number one of this country. Self-goal in Maharashtra.
Views expressed in this blog are hosted on my own website, are strictly personal and do not reflect the views of any organization.
Namaskar. Hello and welcome to Straight Bat, my weekly video blog where, as the title suggests, I comment with a straight bat. Wow, what an election year it has been, and the final act has once again, as the title of my new book suggests, it's the election that surprises. Who would have thought just a couple of months ago that the NDA or the Mahayuti in Maharashtra would cross the 200-seat mark and win a remarkable 3/4 victory? Show me one person who predicted a 3/4 victory for the NDA 2 months ago. The truth of the matter is that the opposition lost for the same reason that the Narendra Modi-led government suffered a bit of a setback in the Lok Sabha. They took their voter for granted. That is the big message of 2024, my friends. And I'll tell you a story as to why I say this. In the month of July, I met a senior leader of the Mahavikas Aghadi here in Delhi. It was Parliament session, and I asked the leader what his plans for the Maharashtra elections were. He said, Rajdeep ji, हम तो 180 सीट जीत ही रहे हैं. Plan बाद में करेंगे. We are winning 180 seats. Plan will be done later. I asked him, do you have a chief ministerial candidate? He said, no, जनता लड़ रही है. People want this government of the Mahayuti out. This is, remember my friends, in the month of July. I will go and meet that leader again 4 months later and ask him, does he now concede that he was overconfident, dare I say complacent, after the Lok Sabha results in Maharashtra that gave 30 seats to the MVA and just 17 to the Mahayuti? One size doesn't fit all, my friends. No two elections are ever the same. That is the second theory that I want to put before you. Lok Sabha was very different to a Vidhan Sabha. Lok Sabha, you could say, Samvidhan khatre mein hai, and make it in some way almost a national election, even in a state like Maharashtra. But when it comes to Vidhan Sabha, elections become localized. The BJP was intelligent enough and course corrected. They realized that there was anti-incumbency. They realized that the farmers were restive. They realized that people were tiring and there was an element of anti-incumbency against their government. They course corrected by bringing in the Ladki Bahin scheme. 1,500 rupees to women, poor women. More than 2 crore beneficiaries. Look at the rise in women voter turnout. More than 6%. That was game, set and almost match. They delivered on Ladki Bahin, ensured that families got it, and with their resources made sure that it was publicized effectively. Suddenly Eknath Shinde, who during the Lok Sabha election was being called Gaddar and Khokechi Sarkar, now became identified as a welfareist chief minister, as a CM who was the common man, who was bringing welfare benefits to the women of Maharashtra. On the other hand, what did the MVA do? First, they were not sure how to respond to Ladki Bahin. They thought they should maybe challenge the scheme and say it's a waste of money. Then they realized scheme is successful. Okay, at the last moment they said we will double what the women will get under a Mahalakshmi scheme. Too late. July, August, September, for 3 months, the MVA allies were more interested ki kaun banega Mukhyamantri, who will be our chief minister. And the fight was not taking place behind closed doors, openly. Sanjay Raut would come every day before the TV camera and say, Uddhav ji should be the chief minister. Congress leaders like Balasaheb Thorat, who has lost for the first time after 3 decades, would say, मैं भी बनूंगा chief minister. Boss, जमीन देखिए, आसमान में मत चलिए. During the Lok Sabha election, BJP leaders say, अब की बार 400 पार. You know what happened? In Haryana, Bhupinder Singh Hooda was already deciding his cabinet. You know what happened? And in Maharashtra, the MVA was already planning kaun banega Mukhyamantri. At that very time, between the month of July and September, the Mahayuti leaders began to hit the ground. Not just the Mahayuti leaders, not just the likes of Devendra Fadnavis, Eknath Shinde, and indeed Ajit Pawar, all of whom embarked on a solid campaign on the ground, but even the RSS. 60,000 meetings were held by the RSS on the ground, targeting mainly OBC voters, realizing that this was a constituency that the BJP needed to consolidate. All of this was being done well before. At that time, the MVA leaders, as I said, were simply not on the ground, instead fighting amongst themselves. Then Haryana happened in early October. The Congress workers got demoralized once again. And this is the organizational problem of the Congress, that they do not plan ahead. Only in the last phase they wake up. Rahul Gandhi addresses only 8 meetings or half a dozen meetings in Maharashtra when he should have been out there. He should have been holding soya bean in one hand and cotton in the other. Because soya bean prices and cotton prices were a major issue in Maharashtra. Samvidhan was not in the Vidhan Sabha election. And yet you are holding Samvidhan closed door sammelans. Priyanka Gandhi should have been used effectively in Maharashtra. But she was the candidate from Wayanad. So limited time for the Congress. Your person in charge, Ramesh Chenithala, General Secretary, he's from Kerala. You're transporting him into Maharashtra. How it takes you time to get used to a state, to its politics. The Congress's organization, not for the first time in Maharashtra, was found out. Politics, my friends, is never static. What is true about the months of April, May and June will not be true necessarily about the months of October, November, December. Things change, issues change, and you have to adapt and change to those issues. The Congress simply failed to do so. And then when the results come, you'll hear Congress leaders blaming the EVMs as trying to camouflage their own incompetence. Are you telling me the EVMs are okay in Jharkhand and not okay in Maharashtra? That when you have won well in Jharkhand, will you blame the EVMs there? No. You need to wake up and smell the coffee. The truth of the matter is, Maharashtra will go down as yet another example of how the Congress party has ceased to get its election machine act together in several states of the country. Maharashtra used to be once a Congress bastion. But the BJP over the last decade, yes, with a lot of financial resources, no doubt about that, has worked on building a strong base for itself in Maharashtra. And that's what you do in politics. You never rest on your laurels, you just simply keep working hard on the ground and building for the future. That's how you become an election machine. That's how you raise the morale of your workers and your leaders on the ground. In Jharkhand, for example, Hemant Soren and Kalpana Soren have shown, if you have charismatic leaders leading a party, if they work hard on the ground, if they get the sympathy factor after Soren being jailed, if they benefit from the fact that there was a third party who took away the vote, Tiger Mahato took away some of the votes of the BJP, you can still win. Truth of the matter is, 2024 has shown India has what I call in my book 2024, the election that surprised India, the diversity dividend. No states are the same. There is no one formula that works in India. You have to have different strategies for different elections. You have to be flexible. You have to be accommodative. Most importantly, you have to work terribly hard on the ground. Just think about it. You had a Uddhav Thackeray who seemingly was sulking for a long time because he was not being made the chief minister candidate. You had Sharad Pawar at the age of 84 virtually being asked to revive his party on his own. Not an easy task. And the Congress had no real strong leaders in Maharashtra who could be projected as pan-Maharashtra leaders. On the other side, you had Devendra Fadnavis, who all said and done has been able to build an image for himself as someone who is a CEO type leader that Maharashtra needs. You had Eknath Shinde, who I said had converted the CM's office into a common man's office. And you had Ajit Pawar, who was again ready to refashion his public image for a Vidhan Sabha election. at the end of the day, my friends, this was yet another, dare I say, self-goal in Maharashtra. It in a way means that even the success in Jharkhand, which is an important success, gets lost out because of the heavy defeat you've suffered in Maharashtra. It shows also that the BJP is still the party number one of this country. Modi Shah are still netas who understand how to fight elections. And in this instance, perhaps to some extent, even swallowed their egos to allow the election to be more hyper-local and work on local factors. The Congress had enough opportunities and more to have won Maharashtra, especially in the times of inflation. They've lost it. And I ask only one question. Who will be held accountable? Will there be any accountability, any real introspection or Atma Chintan in the Congress party? We'll wait and see if that happens or not. But as I said, that's my first take on what's happened in Maharashtra. And just one last point as a postscript. I didn't quite predict the general election result. I thought the BJP would get a clear majority. I was wrong. I didn't quite predict the Haryana result. I thought the Congress would win Haryana. They didn't. I actually at least got my home state right. I've been saying clear edge to the Mahayuti. But yes, even I didn't predict the kind of tsunami that has taken place. That's why, as I said, elections in this country will continue to surprise. That, my friends, was the Straight Bat. Thanks for watching. Do, of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel for many more such videos. For now, stay well, stay safe. Jai Hind. Namaskar.